Hey guys, what's going on? It's Sorrowful here, and it's about that time. As you can clearly see, we are on the new Kinesis character. It's the newest class, the newest job, whatever you want to call it, in MapleStory, and it's one that a lot of people were anticipating, hyped for, and all that good stuff. So I'm going to be here to show you guys all of their skills. Now, first things first, their character card. Their character card gives flat int, and once it's an S rank card, it gives 40 int. So it's a pretty nice card for all you mage mains out there. So definitely don't forget about the character card. Second thing, their link skill. Once you get them to level 120, you get the level 2 link skill, as we should all know by now, and it's minimum critical damage, so it's a very, very important stat, and it's really one of the tougher stats to even get in any quantity, really. So definitely an important link skill. Definitely make sure you put it on your main character. Next, we have their first job abilities. This skill is called Psychic Attack. Let's go ahead and move this up here. Psychic Attack. First job skill, doesn't really do anything, however it charges 1 psychic point for you, which is essentially your mana bar, but it's only needed for your ultimate skills. We'll get into ultimate skills a little bit later. Next you have ESP, which is a passive, and it gives you 10% crit rate, some speed, some defenses, but it says 0%, so I'm not sure what exactly that means, the 0% HP. Maybe it's a glitch temporarily and they're going to fix the description later, but I'm pretty sure it gives us some stats. Let's move on to first job. We have our passive here called Mental Fortitude. Some standard passive stuff, but it's a huge HP steroid. Gives you some magic attack, jump, speed, all that good stuff. Kinetic Crash, your first psychic ability. You actually start with a point in these 3 abilities. This is your first ultimate skill here. As you can see, they have a nice shiny border around it, as well as the little letter U in the bottom right corner of it to identify it as an ultimate skill. Just in case, you know, the border's not clear enough for you. So Kinetic Crash, let's go ahead and put that skill on for you guys. It looks like this, and it does lift mobs up, so we'll go ahead and show you that. Okay, so it does lift them up, and it is pretty spammable, as you guys can see here. Just give me 1 second, guys. I'm actually gonna get a change of scenery, go to my usual spot that I love going to, so give me 1 second. The beautiful winter breeze. Now, isn't that better? I don't know, I just really like doing my reviews in this map because it's really, you know, simple, and it has some good platforms for you to test some stuff out. So with that being said, here's Kinetic Crash one more time. I'll go ahead and show you it on this map, because it does hit 2 platforms in most maps that you're going to be training at lower levels. For example, Gold Beach, but Gold Beach is more second job, but still, you know what I mean. So next up is Psychic Force. Now this ability, and you guys could go ahead and read the description. I'm sure you guys had a time to read this. Kinetic Crash. Now Psychic Force. Pause it if you want to read it. Pretty much pushes your enemies away. Has a 1 second cooldown. Does a few like it does low damage, but it also does a damage over time effect with a cube above their head. So yeah, you can jump and use that skill. As for Kinetic Crash, you cannot jump and use this, so I'll show you. So you can't use it while you're in the air, which is a bit unfortunate. Next is your first ultimate skill called Mental Press, or Metal Press. Mental Press. But yeah, Metal Press. Now, to use your ultimate skills, like I hinted earlier, you have to have psychic points saved up. So this one, for example, costs 7 psychic points. So you're going to have to make sure you have 7 psychic points before you can use that. Go ahead and show it to you guys. It looks like this. It's such a useful skill. I can't really show you it here, but pretty much, say you're in a map with 3 or 4 platforms, this skill will drop all the way from the top, and it will hit every single monster on every single platform on its way down. So any monster that's in its path, it will hit that monster and therefore grant you the kill. So it's really good for maps like, say you're training in Ludi Tower. Nobody trains there, but it's an example that I want to use. So if you're training in Ludibrium Tower and you use that skill, it'll come crashing all the way down to where you are, and it'll hit all the mobs on the way there. I think it only hits about 3 platforms worth of mobs, but that's still incredible, and I can't tell you how helpful this ultimate skill is. You're definitely going to be wanting to use this skill whenever you can, depending on where you're training, of course. Next we have Mental Shield, your first on-off skill. and it's pretty much just a really good defense like steroid, because it cancels 60% of the damage you receive simply by consuming one of your psychic points. So whenever you take a hit, you will lose one psychic point, which is no big deal at all. I can't tell you how much of a lifesaver this skill is. It allows you to train at mobs that are much stronger than your current level, because it simply reduces 60% of the damage you would receive. So I'll go ahead and show you guys the animation for this skill. I already have it on a hotkey, and it looks like this, and it also keeps those rocks beside you at all times until you toggle it off. So I really like how it has a toggle on-off animation. I feel like a lot of skills don't necessarily have one, they just appear, but this one has a very nice animation for that. So we'll go ahead and show you how much damage I take from these guys without it. About 200s. So we'll take one more hit here. 200s, alright? And now I'm going to use the skill, and as you can see, severely reduced. Right? So it's really helpful, and the more damage they do, the more you would ignore. Next we have your speed booster, ESP booster. Pretty nice, decent animation, black and white. As you guys will see, all of their skills are pretty much black and white. Next they have the flash jump. You can double jump it in the air, so it's a triple jump. And as you guys saw earlier, you can do an up jump with it. I really like this flash jump, it looks pretty neat. Kind of wish it was Night Lords, but it's all good. So that's it for the first job, guys. Let's move on to second job. Kinetic Pile Driver. Up to 8 enemies attack 2 times at 280% damage. So this is pretty much your upgraded mobbing ability that you're going to have for second job. Extremely good at Gold Beach, and it goes like this because it can hit both platforms as well. This skill is extremely good at Gold Beach and Drakes, Copper Drakes. So definitely a great second job skill. Might not seem like it at first, but it's actually really good. The range of it is really nice. And it's definitely what you'd kind of want at second job. Next, your mastery, typical standard mastery, some crit rate and some stuff. Psychic Blast. Now this is an enhanced version of Psychic Force. Okay, so as you can see, it says level 10 required to learn Psychic Blast, and then Psychic Blast is here. So it's pretty much just, I just figured something out there that I had no idea you could actually do. But yeah, it gives you the ability to use Psychic Blast, I believe, downward. Yeah, so it gives you the ability to use Psychic Blast downward. So you can use the side, has a 1 second cooldown still, use it downwards, so it's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and show you guys on the mobs and drag them down here. So it's really cool like that. I just found out that if you hold up and use this skill, that you could actually summon your third job skill like that. So it's really cool. That definitely is needed because, as you guys will see, Kinesis have a ton of skills, buffs and skills. So they definitely need all the shortcuts they could use. So that's one right there. Next you have Psychic Drain. Now this skill is definitely going to be used all the way until 4th job and even further, because this skill is really helpful, especially when you're bossing, and it's helpful because of your 4th job skill. So this skill alone just looks like this. It summons an area where they take damage per second if they're in there, and it has a nice little icon of like pretty much your character there, you know, causing that sort of gravity field. So that's Psychic Drain for you guys. And if you guys couldn't tell already, using all of your skills, whether you hit a mob or not, it will restore one of your psychic points. So even if you just spam your abilities like crazy on thin air, then you'll still be restoring your psychic points like this. So that's really cool. And for Psychic Drain, every time it hits one of your, like, the enemy, it will restore a point as well, which is why it's very helpful, and I'll tell you guys later on why. So next you have your second ultimate here. It's called Deep Impact. Alright, and it's pretty cool. It's definitely the least used ultimate, but it's still pretty cool. So I'll go ahead and show you guys that. So there you have it. It's a really cool skill, don't get me wrong, but you're just never really going to use this while training, let's be honest. I got my Kinesis to 126, as you guys can see. I did it during a live stream, all in, you know, the matter of 2 hours and a half. So it's pretty good, but I never use this skill because you're just not going to really need this skill. So, but it is a cool skill. Next you have Psychic Armor, simple defense buff with some avoidability. Pretty decent animation, it looks like this. So it's pretty cool. Next you have Pure Power, 20% damage steroid, which looks like this. So all the black and white in there. Next you have a passive Mental Strength, more HP, magic attack, that good stuff. Now for the third job. Now third job starts getting really interesting with the skills. First up you have Psychic Grab. So let's go ahead and show you guys the description. Now at fourth job you get an enhanced version of this, which I do have at the moment. So this third job skill isn't exactly what you guys are going to be seeing, because you guys are going to be seeing the fourth job version. So let me show it to you guys. You pick up mobs or anything around you, and then you throw it back, and you automatically pick it up again. And you just go like this. You can hold it down, and it'll continually spam it like this. Let's go ahead and use our booster. So you pretty much pick up mobs, use them to kill other mobs. So it's like some serious slaughter stuff. You can jump while using it. If there are no mobs around you, then as you can see, you'll pick up random chest pieces or random pieces of like rocks or stuff like that. So as you guys can see like that. The third job one, I believe, only hits 3 times. The fourth job version of it allows you to hit 5 times with it. So this is an incredible skill, really fast, really good damage. And yeah, so this one, yep, 3 attacks. And it also recovers your psychic points. So really cool stuff. Next you have Psychic Assault, which is a passive. It's a add-on to your psychic moving ability. To be completely honest, I'm not entirely sure how this skill works. Maybe you guys can enlighten me on it. Let me know what exactly this does. I tried reading it many times, and it's not a skill on its own, as you can see. But yeah, let me know if you guys know how that skill works. Psychic Assault. Next we have Mind Tremor, which is your debuff kind of thingy that you're going to want to summon on bosses and stuff like that. Alright, so it's a debuff and it lasts 10 seconds and it has 10-second cooldown. At fourth job you get an enhanced version of this skill. So what you guys are going to be seeing is the fourth job version, not necessarily this one. But it looks like this. So it's pretty cool. And yeah, really like the animation for that skill. Next you have your third job ultimate, Trainwreck, the one that they highlighted in their video, of course, the one that everybody loves and wanted. And it's actually a really cool skill. It does take up pretty much all of your PP, so you need to have all 3 bars of your PP stacked up. And yeah, you'll only be left with like 5 PP or something like that. Which is actually perfect once you actually know how to use Kinesis for bossing, because that's all you need. So you could like start making your PP back. It's kind of hard to explain, but once you actually play the class, it all makes sense. So let's go ahead and show you guys that skill. You summon it like that, and it'll just keep smashing down and down and down. So it's an amazing skill. I love it. I mean, how could you not like this skill? Like, come on. I don't know the amount of trains it spawns. I think it's like 5 or 6, based on what we just seen there. It says 6, so it summons 6 trains. And it hits up to 5 enemies, so it's pretty cool. It also increases the damage of your previous ultimates, just like they each do. Next you have Kinetic Combo, which is a passive skill. So while you're attacking, you have a 70% chance to summon, random objects to attack as well. Next you have a passive that enhances your second job defense steroid. So again, that's this skill. Next you have Psychic Reinforcement, which is a active magic attack boost. I believe I have it on this key right here, so there you go. That's that skill. Next you have Kinetic Jaunt. Now this skill is a little bit funky, but it's pretty cool. It's very unique actually. But to be honest, it's I don't know how exactly you'd use this skill, but it's kind of like, I would call it like orb walking kind of. So I'll go ahead and show you guys this skill. Now you got to use it while holding a directional key, so I'm gonna hold right and use the skill. So that's pretty much what it does. It kind of like elevates you. Let's go ahead and use it upwards, see if we could do that. It does have a 10-second cooldown. Let's go ahead and try upwards. So I mean, it's really cool, but not sure how often you'd use it, to be honest. But yeah, that's Kinetic Jaunt. Next, as you guys can see already in third job, there's a ton of skills, a lot of passives and stuff like that. So next up we have Third Eye, nice critical stuff and damage, nice passive. And then you have Transcendence, another passive for the abnormal status resistance and stuff like that. And then finally you have Mitigation, which reduces your damage taken by 15%. And yes, this does work on those boss abilities that bring you down to 1 HP and 1 MP. So very nice passives here for third job. Very nice skills overall. This is probably one of the best third jobs in the game. So yeah, very nice stuff. Finally, we have the fourth job abilities. We have Psychic Clutch. Now this is, like I mentioned, the upgraded version of Psychic Grab. So I already showed you guys this skill, but just to refresh your memory, let's go ahead and put this back on. It's the beautiful skill where you just grab and throw, grab and throw. So that's that. Psychic Grab, you guys could read the description. Psychic Clutch, actually. Next up, we have a passive ultimate skill called Psychic Shot, and now this skill actually levels up on its own. For every point you put into Psychic Clutch, this will also get a point as well automatically. So this isn't an active skill on its own. Like I said, it's a passive, and it actually adds an effect or an ability to Psychic Clutch. So with Psychic Clutch, all you can do is grab monsters and throw them like this. But with this new skill, Psychic Shot, if you hold the up arrow key like I'm doing right now, and then use it, you'll see it turn yellow and it'll shoot the monsters all over, including upwards. So I'll show you again. It goes like that. It does use 5 psychic points, so it's really cool though. It's actually really helpful, and I just think that's amazing how you could actually do that. So it's really cool. Next, you have your actual fourth job ultimate, which is called BPM. It does a low % damage, but it attacks like crazy. It does 7 attacks on 3 enemies, and it's pretty good, and it also increases the damage of all your other ultimate skills, and it's an on-off skill. So I'll go ahead and show you guys how this skill looks. First, let me just charge up my psychic points. So you could use it even if you have 1 psychic point, but it uses 1 psychic point per second. So it looks like this. I'm going to toggle it on right now. So it looks like this. You could walk with it, you could jump with it, you could even climb ropes with it. And then while you attack, you could keep your psychic points up. So you could just keep it like this. And what's really useful for bossing is using your psychic drain ability, like I mentioned earlier. Where is it? No, the second job skill. Using this on the boss with this, that's gonna keep your psychic points pretty healthy. So you're just gonna want to use this, make sure it's always up, and then you could spam this and spam this. So as a matter of fact, when you're doing this on a boss, you'll actually be gaining psychic points while doing all this DPS. And then once you have enough, you could go ahead and use the train wreck, your ultimate, your third job ultimate skill, and then do all of this on top of it to have insane DPS. I was doing it against Hilla, and it's actually like freaking, I swear to God, it's about like 45 hits per second, which is nuts. So next up, you have Mindquake, which is just the fourth job version of your third job Mind Tremor. So it's just enhancing on those abilities. Next, you have Mind Break. I'll go ahead and show you guys it though. So it looks like this. That's how it looks. So yeah, it gives your character a buff for 30 seconds then. I didn't notice this because when I actually used the skill, I was fighting Zakum, so I didn't really have time to look. Next, you have Maple Warrior, which in this class is called President's Orders, which I think is badass as fuck. And it pretty much looks like this. Let's go ahead and assign it to a key actually. So it looks like this. Really cool. I love it. I love it. I think it's much better looking than Maple Warrior, probably because I'm so used to seeing Maple Warrior. But anyway, next we have Psychic Charger. It's pretty much just a skill to replenish a portion of your psychic points instantly. So as you can see, right now I only have 1 psychic point. If I use this, I'll have, what is that, 14 more points. So it brought me up to the 50 point mark. And it has a 1 minute cooldown. As you can see, the cooldown goes down per level. This is just a nice handy ability, something to use right before you fight a boss, perhaps. Next, you have Hero's Will. Pretty much, it just takes away your status condition, and it gives you 20% abnormal status resistance as a passive, which I think is phenomenal. Next you have another steroid, which gives you 50 magic attack, 20%. The skill looks like this. Nice chest piece there. Next you have a skill called Awakening, which gives you extra final damage percent. This is really the first time we're seeing final damage percent incorporated in passive and active abilities and buffs, so it's pretty interesting. I know Nexon in Korea has been tampering with final damage percent and adding it to a lot more skills in the most recent class balancing, so this is our first really introduction to it, I guess you could say. And definitely more final damage stuff is going to be incorporated in the game overall. But moving on, Supreme Concentration. So this is just pretty much buff duration increase. Pretty useful stuff to actually have this in a skill, and they have so many skills that literally none of their skills go to like level 30, I swear to God. Only Psychic Clutch. Everything else is like at 20, and it maxes out at 20. A lot of their skills even max out at 10. That just goes to show how many skills they have, because you don't have enough points to get, 30 to max out each skill. So this class has probably the most skills in the game, which I think gives them a little bit of an advantage over the other classes in the game. But anyway, next up you have another passive called Critical Rush. I was really shocked to actually see this skill, because it's dependent solely on the amount of combo kills you have. So it really is useless during bosses. So pretty much the more combo kills you have, the gap between your minimum and maximum critical damage decreases. So I'm assuming they would bump your minimum crit towards your maximum crit to lessen the gap. And as you can see, it does get better. If you put a point into it, instead of 49 combo kills, you only need 48. Next up, another passive, some simple PDR, 25% defense ignored, which is Mind Scrambler. And then lastly you have your mastery, but this time it's only master level of 10. It doesn't go past that, and so pretty much they get in 10 points what all the other classes get in 30. F4th job. But that's about it for the Kinesis class, guys. Let me know what you guys think about it. Have you created one yet? Are you excited to create yours? If you haven't, let me know your thoughts on the class, what you think Nexon could have done better, or just how you feel about them. I personally like the class. I think they're pretty fun, and it's a nice addition to my character lineup. Thank you all for watching this Sorrowful production. If you enjoyed the video, then why not show it? Hit that like button and subscribe for more Sorrowful goodness. Peace.